This is the Tactical Muffin Top, Muffin Top, Muffin Top, late night Tuesday edition. How is everybody doing this evening? I got a spicy one for you. Well, it's not spicy, but thought provoking. I have my sugar free lemonade to assist me. I'm joined with Justin B. and Lawfully Armed, my two homies.
What up?
Good evening.
Hopefully, more homies are inbound. We'll see. So, I went over the idea for a chat, and it was a couple days ago. I can't remember when I did it, but it was the amount of people that were needed to actually run a homestead almost 100% self-sufficient, minus the consumption of consumables, whether that be medicine, whether that be clothing, whether that be ammunition, whether that be batteries, fuel. Eventually you will run out of all consumables, right? Because you can't reproduce everything. So as self-sufficient as possible via supplies on hand, right? Tools will break, windows will break, roofs will get ripped off in storms. Eventually you'll run out of stuff. That's just the name of the game. That's just how life works, right? So I have a list and I've added to it. I have over 20 jobs that I want covered. And the idea, you didn't get a link. Yes, you did, Pat. You silly dude. Hang on, Pat.
TMT, did you do that thing again where you copy and paste the link, but you don't hit send?
You know what? Maybe.
Is that what you did to like a dozen people?
I hope not.
Well, either way, double checking right now is good filler air to let people tune in.
You.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. We got Old Man Butt Wrinkles with the meat spin.
Pat, check your Discord.
Teresa B got a head start. She knew
Thank
this
you.
was happening.
We're joined by a wild Pat Rider.
Hey yo.
Hey yo. We got a wild Dom VDG in here. Nice.
See? There's all the
Holy
homies.
smokes.
Work for Dom.
How many can you have in vertical?
I think 6
Only
or 8.
Only got like 20 minutes. I got to go to jujitsu.
Oh, right. Oh, I didn't have a jiu-jitsu. All right, Pat did some stuff on that Harbor Freight thingy. Nice. He got the head all mocked up and whatnot in his laser engraver.
I can't tell what it
Getting
is.
that
Is
look
it
all
an eagle
badass.
or a dragon?
Looks.
It's a dragon. It's getting in focus now. Oh, now I'm sick.
Fucked it up. All right, now we got Dom for 20 minutes. We're going into it. These are
All right,
the
get it.
amount of people required to actually have a functioning homestead with almost 100% sustainability minus the consumables variable. So if you were to get a small amount of acreage, whatever, you don't need 100 acres. What you need is, 5, 10, 15, 20 acres, right? Realistically, to be affordable and then have housing on all that for people. So if you had 1 family to 10 families, that I think was the range that I put in my previous chat, how many people do you need to actually get this covered? I have a list of some people here that I think are good, and I will go through other people. The next problem is how many of these positions do you need? And then cross-training will inevitably be whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. I can't say it. Somebody say the word.
Inevitably.
Thank you. Yeah, my anemone. Anyway.
Everybody say it.
It's too late.
It.
Yeah, that. Pat got it. So obviously, I would like more than 1 medical personnel. I would like more than 1 military, police / security person. I would like more than 1 gardener / farmer. So things are going to have to get cross training and learning, and you're not going to be able to be your best. So you also need a break in there. And while you're doing a break, you're going to need to do a secondary position job. That's just going to be part of it. So I say it all the time. I would love to find a chiropractor / PT or sports medicine person so they can help you with stretches and popping you around, because pain meds are going to be in short supply, and you might not be able to get to a doctor if it's not life-threatening. They might not see you, but if it's, man, I dislocated my shoulder and I need some rehab for a couple weeks so I can get back to 100%, you'd probably like to have that type of person on hand, right?
Is this post collapse or?
This is if you could do it this weekend and set yourself up for the rest of your life, and no matter what
Gotcha.
happens
All right.
around you, you know,
Sounds good.
yeah, because if it's post collapse, then after that, it's a consumable game. It's how much stuff you stack to keep normality, right? But yeah, so that's one that I say a lot, and I hit it already. Military slash police slash security. You would like people probably in each one of those areas. Security could probably be the least because you can all those teach, you know, patrolling and whatnot, and long hours of staying up and vigilant and whatnot. Um, a medical person, and that can be a wide swath of people from nursing to in care. It says your device is not connected lawfully. I can't add you. There we go. That's weird. It could be like a surgical person. It could be a brain surgeon. Obviously, most of us are not going to get a brain surgeon, let alone be able to keep them employed in that position. But I'd like multiple medical people. And when I was saying it, it was because I want them to be at their peak. You don't want some medical dude who's been on call for 2 days who hasn't slept more than 4 hours. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be steady. You're going to make life threatening mistakes, right? Um, so those are just a few. A teacher, being able to transfer knowledge to younger kids slash maybe a preschool personnel, and with that maybe child ortho slash medical dietitian. You know, kids have different needs than a 40-year-old dude.
Agreed.
A cook, because cooking for the amount of people you have is going to take logistics and knowing how. So, quite frankly, a lunch lady who knows how to cook for a lot of people or something like that would be kind of handy. Or a gal maybe who cooks for a nursing home or a restaurant, or a guy, like whatever. It's not gender specific in that, but I think that's a very underlooked thing. And in the books, I can't remember which one it was, if it was the cyber nuke or if it was the one with Steve, the going home or whatever, where they took two guys to lift pots of boiling water and soup because like you're doing a quarter of a pig or whatever. Like a couple grannies ain't going to lift that amount of weight. You're still going to need some strapping in lads in the kitchen to handle the trash, to handle moving stuff to the compost, to handle just the weight cooking for that many people. You know, it's heavy. Like military personnel, people make fun of the potato peeler who's the chef in the kitchen, but when you're feeding 10,000 people, you got to have it down pat. And you have to know how to cook and get it out on time.
Cooking for 20, 30 people 3 meals a day is not a fucking easy task.
Right.
It's not.
It's exhausting. Yeah.
And you're right. Like it probably is better off to be like either a male and a female, or like a male that can fucking handle it, because like it's physical.
Yeah. I mean, if you also have to break down a quarter of a pig or something while you're doing it at the same time and know what to do, I mean, that's weight, man. Like just thinking like Walking Dead, like Eugene's like, we make stew. Okay, how many people did they have in their group when they were, rationing out their food, that they were prioritizing the calorie density to nutrition value? It's stew and that's it. Well, a couple stew pots, 2, 3, 4 stew pots for however many people you have, that's heavy, man.
And not to mention, if you're in the after effects, where you're trying to keep track of your supplies and everything like that, you definitely need more than one person. If you
Right.
you got 20, 30 people on your community, that's a lot of just somebody's going to have to be doing inventory and checking out how to ration it out and stuff. It's need more than one person back there.
Right. And I'm gonna stop there and let some other guys drop in some stuff. And if you guys say another one that I have, I'm gonna check it off. But those were ones that I used in an example in my other chat, and I think they're all really valid points. Most people, and I've said it on chats before, they're like, "Oh, I'm a shooter. I'm a shooter." Like, if you think you're going to set or even do a patrol every hour, whatever, and you're going to get my food when the rest of my family's working their ass off, you have another thing coming because I'm going to give you the shittiest manual labor jobs I can think of. I'm going to put you on wood detail before your freaking patrol. I'm going to make you sweat. There's no way you're not. You will sweat to earn food at my camp. That's
Well,
just
and
yeah.
I like what you brought up earlier about the cross training will eventually happen and shit like that, and maybe your armorer can like help with fucking inventory because armor is not a full-time job.
I agree.
Maybe you work part time in the kitchen, helping in the morning and with the washing of the dishes and shit, and the other times you're switching out the guys that are out on patrol. You're getting them, make sure they're squared away, make sure the rifles are accounted for. Make sure that somebody's not squirreling away fucking ammo.
And like when Southern Prepper did his little mini survival series, there was a guy in the kitchen or a gal, his wife, whatever he was using for the person fill in. They were bringing tea and caffeine to the people on radio watch / LPOP, right? Like you got to stay up, and you might be bringing somebody a pot of tea to get some caffeine in them, So,
And if you're running a homestead, you're going to need someone for animal husbandry and farming / heavy duty gardening.
I love it. Yep, that's further
That's
down.
going to be a lot of full-time jobs.
Yeah, you think you're going to have one guy farming / gardening, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's way too much work for one person.
Yeah, and just keeping pens and stuff clean for the animals you do have. Like the more animals you have to feed more people, the more work it becomes because everything shits. You have to move it somewhere. You have to give them clean sleeping quarters, otherwise disease and things set in. Bacterial infections, they cut themselves on a nail on a board on the wall, then they lay down in poop water. You lose your animal because it got infected because you weren't cleanly. You can't do it. You have to keep it clean.
And then if your animals start getting nasty, your humans are going to start getting fucking nasty shit.
Yeah, you want roaches and lice and all kinds of crap going on in SHTF, like
Isn't roach milk nutritious?
Well, that's what they say, but
No,
I will
there's
pass.
How do you milk a roach?
in their exoskeleton that your body that acts like a forever chemical in your body that you can't get rid of. And it's all bad.
Like clitorian or some whatever starts with a C.
Yeah.
I understand
Dang.
what I said sounded like.
I've got some chemicals in my system. I'm never getting out if that's how you say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many have you partaken in some samples of that?
I'm trying to get all that I can.
That's funny. Oh my god.
On the topic of other jobs that you're going to need that a lot of people don't think about, you're going to need a tailor or a seamstress.
Yeah.
Probably nearly full time.
I nailed that. You're not going to be able to go buy clothes, man. You're going to have the stuff to do it and like a foot pedal sewing machine and parts to fix it, man. Old school.
Yeah, or do it by hand. That's why I'm thinking it's going to have to be almost full time because how many people can find how many people can find a treadle sewing machine?
Yeah, well,
they're not super common these days.
Yeah, if you find one, you should snag at least one and see if you can get it going because there's a method to it. But I tell you what, man, if you get a group of gals, like our church has gals that do quilts and they do like knit babies' heads for like newborns because like the hospital gives them away to new parents. They knit different sizes for like preemies and stuff like that, and they give them size patterns and stuff, different colors for male, female, whatever the kid is, But they donate 100 of them every month, and they donate quilts to like veterans and retirees and stuff like that. You can make scarves, you can make sweaters, like that kind of stuff is going to have to come back because you can't go buy it.
I've got 2 spinning wheels and a small loom in my bedroom, so I completely agree with that.
That's awesome. You keep sheep or alpacas?
No. We used to know a guy that had some, but not currently.
Nice.
And to be fair, they haven't been used in several years, but they're here.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That is a skill that's been lost to time for sure.
It's not me. I don't know how to do it. It's my wife.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's a great skill. If she can make yarn and you can keep a sewing circle going, that is huge.
Yeah, she's got an undiagnosed master's degree in yarn.
Yeah, man. Get a croquet. You want a good gift for somebody who doesn't have a hobby yet, especially in the winter? Get them a crochet kit with a bunch of yarn. They'll make you stuff.
She's about to finish a king size sock yarn blanket.
Oh my god! How long did that take?
That's knit on a circular needle. About 2 months. It's knit on a circular needle with a tumbling block pattern in it. It's nuts.
That's crazy, dude. I want to see a picture of that in the Discord.
Will do. Yeah, she made our daughter one while she was pregnant for that's like a crib size blanket, and now she's making her one for when she's grown up out of the same yarn with the same pattern and all that.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's gonna mean way more than some crap you can buy at Walmart, man.
Yeah, that's cool. Like I still have the one that my grandmother made me, and she was smart enough to. We were teenagers when she did them, so it still fits me to this day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a quilt my great grandma made me, and I have my grandma made me a quilt for the day that we got married for our master bed. That's cool.
Mine is extra cool because she used all the leftovers from all the other grandchildren that were alive at the time. She used all the extras to make mine because they all kind of branched out and moved away and everything, and I was stuck by myself, So she gave me like all the extras, so I felt like I had them and shit with me. It's pretty cool. Means way more than anything else.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So let's those are some good ones, Dom. Let's who wants it next?
Did you say butcher?
I have not yet.
Hunter?
Yeah, I agree. Yep. I have hunter, fisherman, and trapper. I've said my opinion. A trapper is the more consistent means of protein. Hunting is obviously great until everybody else is doing it, but fishing is also good, passive. But yeah, you're going to need a butcher. You're going to need somebody who knows their trees and their wood, which would also cross with woodcutter for hardwoods for smoking, yeah, and keeping your place warm.
Well, fishing and trapping are both passive, so those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as woodsmen here, we've got spruce and
what's that mainly?
Spruce. What's the other one? Anyway, we got like 3 kinds of trees.
Cedars. I bet you got a bunch of cedars.
No cedars here. Dang it! What's the tree with the white bark? That birch. We got spruce, birch, and
birch is really good wood too.
Yeah,
birch is the best we got for burning.
Nice.
So we basically got 3 kinds of real trees here.
What up, mainly off grid?
All right, Pat. What else you got there, buddy?
A dentist.
Yes.
/ barber.
Oh yeah, barbers. That's a good one. That'll cut down a lot of infections and lice and things.
And I just saw a video from Pastor Joe Fox a couple of weeks ago or days ago, whatever, and he was talking about this subject of getting your people together and to not be too picky. Maybe I want to say, his story was he had a dental assistant that was in his group, and he's like, "Well, you're the closest thing we have to a doctor, so you're it." And she's like, "Well, I'm not a doctor. I can just," it's like, "Well, it's either going to be you or it's going to be me. So who's more qualified?" And has they had that person, start reading up and making themselves more, more the doctor than rather than like a assistant or whatever. So just anybody that's close. And before the world ends and information is free and plentiful, tell them to up their game.
Yeah. Get some flash drives and put some stuff on it. I have one that nobody's going to say, and I want to say it here because I think a librarian / like a books keeper will become your next Google. And if they can say, "Hey, I need medical this related for like cows," okay, here's a couple 2 or 3 books that you can maybe find what you need. Or, "Hey, I need so I need a recipe, and they can go through, find a couple books, and say, here, this is what kind of, or hey, I need to know how long to cook this meat for, to smoke it, to keep it parasite free. Having a librarian that can find that stuff and know kind of generally where things could be, or like an old set of encyclopedias, like, hey, look up fork and knife, like off Family Guy, or look up lung and fork. Time is a factor. Like being able to find that stuff expediently, especially with no internet. Very important.
Yeah, that could be a major chore if you don't have somebody that's kind of dedicated to it.
Yeah. Somebody scouring all the magazines and books you have and putting little tabs or something, like wild foraging possibility here, or like medical plant,
A librarian, perhaps?
That's what I said, a librarian, yeah.
Or kind of a researcher.
Yeah. That would be handy. And if
that could
it,
realistically be anybody that's kind of on the more quiet side that doesn't mind reading and is very well organized, which is, it's not super uncommon.
Somebody who's not physically capable of doing much else.
Exactly. If you have a disabled person, say they got one leg or a hand, or in a car wreck, or they're elderly, they might feel useless. Well, you're not useless. Trust me, you can be used to benefit everybody, right? So there's jobs that you don't have to be G.I. Joe and be able to lift 400 pounds with your pinky. Mental toughness is a thing. And with that, I would also say a psychiatrist, because mental can take you down just as quick as physical.
Yeah, and when it comes to security, like, not everyone's going to be a shooter in my group. Like, I have to know you before I put a gun in your hand. Like, I have to trust you with my 16-year-old daughter before I put a gun in your hand.
Yeah, and firearms instruction and safety and tactics training will have to be brought up, because not everybody's going to be at that level. So you're going to need a position for that.
You meant hypothetical 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Like, if there's no way I'm putting like my kid who's 4 out on LPVO duty at midnight. Second off, if there's some creepy dude who I'm kind of getting pedo vibes from, there ain't no way he's going around any of the children. Let alone, he's probably not going to be in our group very long, because he's going to be #compost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were just at the that Great Wolf Lodge place, and in the water park, there's a bunch of skeevy old dudes like looking around at little kids.
Right.
I saw at least 3 that I was like, they were setting off flags for me.
Mm-hmm. You got any more that you can kind of think of there right off the top of your head, Pat? Because we're going to go through a few times. I want to get the critical juices flowing.
Well, if we're thinking about before the shit hits the fan, you need your guy. You need your a lot of us are a master of jack of all trades, master of none. But having somebody with like somebody that can fire up a fucking welder and lay something down that can fucking actually be worth the fuck.
Yeah.
Odds are that guy can do carpentry with his eyes closed.
Yeah, you actually just like stole it right off the tip of my tongue. I was going to say a Mr. Fix-It. Somebody that knows how to fix damn near anything.
And the way I see it is, most guys, like, if you know a guy that can weld worth a fuck, he probably knows how to do everything else.
Mm-hmm.
There's not going to be a whole lot of welding going on at the end times. That takes a lot of electricity.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, but if you're building it before the end times,
beforehand, right? Get yourself set up, get your fences, get all your cattle gates and whatever situated, get your fallback locations, get your panic rooms, whatever figured out.
What up, Missouri Survival?
Carpenter. I'd check
60-year-old auto mechanic. The guy that's been there and done that since y'all.
Yep. I also put / heavy equipment fixer, a guy who can do tractors and stuff like that as well. ATVs. Damn. Sorry, guys.
If you're looking at long term, maybe a blacksmith that can make basic hand tools and
I like that.
nails, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna
You
need
got
that shit.
Yeah,
you got
fix
horses,
a
horseshoes.
hand tool. Yep, I dig that. Obviously, I had electrician, somebody who also knows solar, plumber, um, carpenter, a roofer / building construction guy, a well / septic guy. Very important. Axe making Mike Tango Whiskey 1. He knows what's up.
And there's also somebody, and that same person can also be the one that maintains the tools. Your blacksmith guy, he's going to be the one that's freaking going to have to be in charge of keeping shit sharp, making sure the wrench works, shit like that. And that dude deserves a lot of water because that's fucking job right there, man.
Can weld a lot with gas, rudimentary blacksmithing. Batteries can be used for small spot welding. Yeah.
Oh, I've done that with the battery.
I'm going to put this one in. A guy who can train dogs can also be worked into very well with patrol because a dog is a really good sensory tool / hunting tool. It's a great.
If you got a really well trained dog, he's worth feeding.
Yep. Shoe cobbler. Yes. When you run out of your last good pair of boots, you're in trouble. I agree.
Justin just said about water, you have to have one person or maybe a few that are responsible for everyone's water, because most people aren't smart enough to sanitize their water and not get sick.
I agree. I think the ultimate prepping thing for that would be a water catchment system, B, a pond, and C, a well, the well being the best. If you can maintain your well and have some test kits for it and have a well like a digger / a guy who knows how to maintain your well, who can service it, that's the best water source you can have because the earth is the best filter. You don't have to worry about cross-contamination or somebody relieving themselves in a stream or whatever, or dead animal that died in there, whatever, the parasitic, the deer disease or deer lock their horns, die in there. You get a bunch of nasty crap in the water. Nature happens in water. If the water's underground, a lot less opportunity for gross shit to get into it, right?
You don't got to worry about what's coming down from upstream.
Yep.
Yeah, if you can find a spring, you want to find where it comes out of the ground. You need to find the source. And usually you can drink the water right as it's coming out of the ground. Obviously boil it if you can, but
yep. All right, Lawful, you want to take a shake at it?
all the easy ones are taken.
Probably true.
I don't know. I think that time would move slower.
Yeah, well,
The days would be long, but you wouldn't be in such a big hurry all the time, the way we are now. Do you know a shoe cobbler now?
I mean, there's a lot of shit that needs to get done, though.
Well, you and I had the very similar upbringing, Lawfully, where we were out on the farm helping Grandpa. We did a lot of chores as kids. We're going back to that, right? So. That was my daycare, was doing chores on the farm and remodeling houses.
Yep.
Being the gopher for handing him tools when I'm young. It's handy for an old man.
And that's why I've kind of cemented into the fact that I'm going to do the homeschool thing, is because my buddy's doing it with his, and they got a little bit of land, and so the kids, he gets them up at a decent time. They do their school shit. When the way that the state of Florida works is, all you need to do is have your 4 basics, your whatever level math, whatever level science, language arts, like dumb easy shit, and that's all that's required. The rest of the time, he has the kids out doing shit with them, teaching them how to actually do stuff. And I watch them, and they do shit.
Yeah. Mike Tango Whiskey, if you're still in here, I know you guys homeschool. What's the home curriculum? How many hours do you have to spend via learning? And then how many hours can your kids go out and actually do like chores or whatever, or go out in nature and not just be in a classroom all day? If you're still in, I'd be curious about the hours needed daily.
Well, this I know I've been reading a lot into it, and it's like a lot of that is state dependent. Because I've also had some, some younger ones go through it, and I know in the state that they were in, there was a minimal amount of like online time where you had to be online. Whether or not you were doing anything was beside the fact, because one of them is freaking brilliant past his age, and he used to just sit there with it online and play video games. But you know,
Somebody
the
would
way
have
I'm
to
seeing
be
the state
like,
of Florida is that as long as you're keeping up with your standardized testing, they don't give a shit.
How about a midwife slash women's issues?
Yeah, that's a huge one. Home
It
birthing.
varies day to day depending on what the subjects are specifically, but
Yeah, especially if everybody gets their cycles in, then that'll shorten up the meetings. I mean, hopefully, right? Yeah, those midwife, huge one.
Because babies are going to
that's
come.
where your medical person is like, that's where they got to push to be the jack of all trades in that medical field. They got to know how to handle a toothache, and they got to know how to pull the baby out. Like,
How about
it is what it
how
is.
about
what are those little guys that are half goat, half person?
And Edmund from the Narnia.
Edmund.
I was thinking more like the guy from.
A centaur.
Nah, that's
Potter.
half horse.
Yeah, that's half horse.
Never mind.
You're talking about the little guy from Hercules?
There we go. You make a whole bunch of them, and then you don't have to worry about needing midwives.
I don't know about that. Shoes are going to be hard for that, and pants.
How about a brewer?
I thought of that, and I didn't want to say it.
A what?
Again?
A brewer or a distiller?
Yep.
Somebody knows how to make alcohol.
Yeah, you can change that to distill and make vinegar slash ether.
Well, I mean, and even if you're making fucking tater booze, I'm pretty sure that can multi over into a sanitary pool, or sanitary thing, because it's fucking straight alcohol.
Cleaning,
making your vinegar and your
wiping down your counters, and kid falls down, scrapes his knee, pour a little bit of that shit on there. He's fucking ain't nothing gonna survive that.
You gotta keep that butcher shop sanitary, man. That you do not want any bacteria taken off where you're processing your meat.
It'll fucking ruin everybody.
It'll kill everybody. You'll get dysentery. You'll get all kinds of nasty stuff that'll take everybody out before they even know what happened.
Yeah, I've been reading up on some of that shit, like where it's like it's a multi-week incubation period, and now everybody's dead before they even know it. Like, that's all fucking bad.
Sorry, I bumped the backspace. Kicked myself out.
You're good.
Well, just don't do it again.
Did you remove the right one?
Somebody knows how to make soap.
Yeah, and that would cross for me a little bit into wood detail, because knowing what type of ash and stuff like that would be good. I think a woodcutter would be really important, because the amount of firewood that you'll need for the amount of people you have will be astronomical. So,
animal fats can be flammable too, as well, can't they?
Production. Yeah, but
I'm stealing
honestly,
a whaler.
You're probably going to use most of your animal fat in food processing. I'm not going to make tallow candles when people are starving to death.
Wax your boots with it.
Yeah.
You need fat to make soap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I got a giant ass bag sitting in the fridge, kind of slowly thawing.
I got one that
to make
I
soap
came
out
up
of.
with on the chat the other day. An accountant and / maybe a judge. An accountant could regulate, fat for food, fat for animal consumption, like your dogs and things like that, or scraps. Which amount do you use for composting opposed to slopping the pigs? slash chickens to cut feed down, like stuff like that. Kind of a
You're gonna need some
breakdown.
sort of political commissar.
No, we don't need a. We don't need a jester per se. And maybe we do. Yeah, I'll take a comedian. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think entertainment would be pretty important, actually.
And the Air Force has a person
Oh,
like that
definitely.
that's responsible for funerals and entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Well, I mean, if you guys are all kind of in the same mindset and of the same pretty much general religious belief that, then I think that could be handled more religiously than needing somebody to actually, it would be more of like your religion guy that would be on that side of it.
Maybe a legal guy, because after somebody passes, where do you spread the last possessions amongst people?
How do you divvy that shit up?
Yeah.
Kind of sounds brutal, but fuck.
I mean, you die on a homestead, you have 10 cows, and you have 14 wool socks and sweaters, and you got a pew, and you got some fuel and a tractor. I mean, somebody's going to need that stuff, and you're not here anymore.
And somebody needs to keep that shit running, so then that way everybody can keep going. That's the reason why it was there, is because that's what everybody's depending on.
Exactly.
The faster you can get that shit sorted out, the faster that piece of the machinery, the working mechanism that is your homestead gets back online. Now, if you guys are gonna bicker and have resentments and shit for 3 fucking months, ain't nobody out there doing it.
Right.
It's not gonna help nobody.
You're
It's
not
just gonna
operating
fuck you guys in the long run.
Yeah. Don't want to waste your day, your hours, and your input that what you can produce on your land. You don't want to.
And resentments is fucking will kill your mag. It'll fucking kill your mag. I can tell you that.
How about comms?
Yeah, you need a good commo guy who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and if it's after shit had already hit the fan, that's a whole job right there. Somebody that monitors the radios.
Especially when stuff goes down, like that is your information. That's your news.
And somebody sitting there monitoring the shit, being like, whoa, I just saw 2 spikes in, that somebody's close.
Yeah. I would also say it would be handy to have like a nerd tech / drone tech / a commo tech, could also cross into some electrical and some solar, help troubleshoot some stuff like that.
Yeah, you're low voltage electrician.
Mm-hmm. Pretty handy when you can't go buy more to keep your stuff running.
Because I'll tell you this, I do a fuck ton of low voltage electrical stuff, and I know a lot of things that guys that have been electricians for 30, 40 years have no idea about.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't deal with the circuitry and shit like that, like low voltage is a complete different animal compared to, I pull big wire, put here.
I've been conduit and put it here.
Yeah, like what degree? Okay, step pull, like the
clothing cleaning, bedding cleaning, carpet, wood, sanitary, furniture, things like that. Your root cellar, cleaning that for pestilence. You can't just have mouse shit everywhere. You have to keep things clean. / sanitation. So, cleanliness, but laundry will be a full-time job, and it's a full-time job for that amount of people in today's, our luxuries that we have today. Grid down laundry for that many people.
Holy shit.
That is a lot of manual labor.
I didn't even think about that. That's gonna suck. Having to do laundry is gonna fucking suck.
Yeah, I tell you what, every rain I would take advantage of putting
strong ladies scrubbing them washboards.
Well, it wouldn't even just be ladies. Like if you had a metal tub that you put over like a fire, like you're gonna need a couple dudes to haul that thing around with the laundry.
Move it and shit. Yeah, there's other methods. There's other methods other than just the metal washboard. There's other ways to clean clothes. Right, but it still takes a lot of fucking moving heavy shit.
But yeah, that was traditionally a woman's role, and like, man, that would suck if you had a metal washboard and that's what you had to do for half the day, and then
So what if what if the like maybe one or two people that wash clothes, they did one day of soap making and then the next day they did washing to kind of keep up on it.
sweet rotation.
Like because I know even me, I haven't had the same job for fucking over 5 fucking years in a row. Like I just fucking can't do it. I get bored and I'm freaking gonna be miserable.
I think that's part of your cross training. Like if you're cross trained, obviously you're going to be switching, rotating around.
Mm-hmm. I think you'd have to find a good schedule to divvy up the manual labor tasks, whether that be the manual labor digging, stuff like that, to like wood detail, to the manual labor, the cooking and the cleaning, and then like you'd have to like all those, or like maintaining a tractor, tearing apart a tractor and stuff like that and putting it together, and you have no hydraulic lifts, no forklift, stuff like that. It's going to be manual labor lifting all your big.
That's where those manual cranes, man. Telling you, those manual overhead cranes will fucking save your ass, and they work very well.
Priorities will change the seasons too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it's rainy and you can't be outside as much, or winter, it kind of keeps people cooped up. Yeah, I mean.
When it's a muddy season, you can't send your guys out into the working field butt naked. They're going to come back with nasty ass fucking clothes every day.
Yeah.
Then the wash detail is going to have to go up, unless
they're gonna hate the farming guys for those months.
Unless those 5 guys are willing to go out there butt naked, and fucking go get it.
Hey, I got one for you, TNT.
Let's do it.
You have to have a fire department.
Oh, that is.
I know, obviously.
I feel that's got to be more communal, because if a fire breaks out, that's all hands on deck.
But you're going to need some guys that
know what they're doing.
They can specialize in it, and there's different techniques and things to learn. Yeah, and knowing where to maintain and how to dig, fire breaks and stuff, and teaching people that stuff. Yeah.
It even comes down to that too. Like maybe during your colder times, or when the garden's not exactly pumping out 110%. Those guys are back working on the fire lines and fucking making sure that's just kept up with.
Yeah, I dig that. Or
fire breaks.
You have a tractor, you have an ATV, and you have a truck. You get a fire out in your small measly cornfield because something overheated. Boy, you're going to have to be able to save what you can out of that and the machinery and stop it from getting to the rest of the living quarters. You're going to have some people be able to cut a fire break quick.
Real fucking quick.
Maybe plumbers in conjunction with rain barrels, or you have some kind of pump system for like your pond. You're going to need those guys to work together, because it is what
that's what. Yeah, fire is scary, man.
So
I know we got a big ass pump that can drop into the pond, but that's depending on whether or not, if we're even in the well times, it would be hard to stop the fire.
We squirreled for like 40 minutes. Have we deviated from what you really meant to talk about tonight, or
no? We're still knocking stuff off.
I thought that you were going to have a list of like number of people you need to feed.
I've been checking them off. We still haven't got them all yet. As a break comes, because you guys stop talking and I run my mouth forever, I say the next one. We don't have a veterinarian, so we need that for the livestock and the pets, and a veterinarian can cross-train into medical as well.
I'm thinking about leadership. Are you assuming that you're going to be the leader?
No, I don't want to be the leader ever.
Or is there going to be like a single leader, or is it going to be like a council? Are you going to let people vote?
There's going to be certain aspects where, hey, you're getting raided. You have to have a response team right then and there, and one person's in control of that, or like a fire scenario. Yeah, a birth of a child or a cow, whoever's the veterinarian or the midwife is going to take precedence, say, you are it. Get your team together, start telling us what to do.
I think I can think of a couple differences. Like if I'm on my property, I'm the fucking dictator for life, followed by my oldest son. You know, like king. Because I'm not going to have some group show up. You know, like you take in 5 people from another group, and then they outnumber you and like vote to make themselves the leader of your house.
Like,
Right.
nope, it's a monarchy. If it's my property, it's a monarchy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It gets handed down to my king.
Like, I like having I like the idea of having a council of people together for like recommendations, but ultimately it comes down to my way or the highway, motherfucker.
Yeah, that is very, very group dependent, and that's a choice that's going to have to be discussed, hopefully in the fat times, which is now. So you're locked in. If you can start writing your group SOPs and your group's constitution and what you plan, and your mission statement, and kind of get your morals and your rules lined up now.
That's a lot of fancy words.
Well, it's things that need done. And
Yeah.
the problem with it is we all, a lot of, well, no, I'm not going to say we all, but there's a lot of people on the internet that say go do all this stuff, and then they're just like guns, how many guns, how much ammo, guns. Okay. Do you have somebody who can do pottery when all your bowls and your plates start breaking?
And real quick before we move on past what you just said, so if you are establishing that shit with your mag now in the not so worst of times, that'll immediately tell you. You could tell off of having those conversations where you guys are trying to agree on, you know, like, hey, when it gets to the point, like, what do you feel about this kind of a situation, or you know, what happened? What do we do when this happens and this happens? You can judge whether or not you're going to be able to coexist in the long run just based off of that fucking conversation.
Right.
And then you'll know if like you're just fucking pissing in the wind at that point. You'll know.
That's why most probably realistic mags are going to be a couple people from your family, you know, grandma, grandpa, brother, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, whatever, and maybe like a neighbor and a family friend. That's logistically probably the people you can go have a barbecue with and actually want to hang out with are probably the people you're going to surround yourself with.
Exactly. And you'll be able to tell if you're pissing in the wind or not, you know?
Right. So if you just take that into effect, however many people that is for you, how many jobs does that many people have to do? If it's more than 3 to 10, you need more people. If it's one guy can do, like I can do house stuff, I can do gardening, I can do hunting, I can do, you know, some security stuff. Am I the best at all that stuff? No. But I can butcher, I can cook. I don't have to just be, I'm not just going to be the guy sitting behind sandbags with my AR pointed down the road for 12 hours a day.
Fuck that.
No, that's retarded. That's not going to happen.
No. Yeah. I mean,
you let me watch my sandbags.
You are good about dragging bags across your face.
Got him.
I love you. Large equipment operator. If you come across
I agree with that.
You know, I mean, if you come across like a road maintainer, if you come across a backhoe or something, or a tractor, maybe an older style tractor or a newer style tractor, and you can run it and you can get that to your location and bring fuel and stuff with it, big game changer, huge plus, right? Or
and you know what? Like yeah, if you found a guy that you like operating cranes or whatever, like, you know how much shit, when I was a crane operator, how much shit I learned how to do just by watching other people do it. Like, could I really get out there and do it? I don't know. I haven't done it, but I've watched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of these motherfuckers do it. I'm pretty sure I could do it.
I bet Pat would be good at that, between being an auto mechanic and a truck driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hand-eye coordination is fucking key when running heavy equipment.
If you had Pat Riot, who, after the balloon goes up, found a trailer full of cattle and brought it to you, and you had the means to smoke and preserve and can that meat, just saying, if you had a trailer load of cows right as the beginning of SHTF popped off, how much of a game changer would that be for your food resource? The guy who can drive that semi, just saying.
And get there and get there, yeah, and get it there.
Because turning into that little driveway down the country road with the semi, not just every retard can go do.
Yeah,
You
and
can't
not
just
only
spread
that,
it.
is their body in tune to be able to stay up for 12 fucking hours and drive that fucking drive with the pedal down and going?
Hopefully, you don't have to do that. But
Yeah, but you know,
yeah, I mean, just somebody who can run large equipment. It's not for everybody.
That's what I was gonna say. Y'all were missing my point. I meant that like probably if it's got an engine, Pat can drive it. Between being mechanically inclined,
yeah, and a lot
he
of
could
guys
jump.
that are mechanically inclined make really good operators on heavy equipment because they listen and they feel the machine.
Finish your point, Lawfully.
Sorry.
He could
It's
jump
good.
on it and figure out how to like make it work. He can engage the PTO. He can get it in gear, do all the stuff.
Yeah, that person can check a lot of boxes, which is good because that's people that you need.
Yeah, see, Fish said it. He homeschooled his kids and they fucking finished early. Like
I love that.
that's you know, that's what my buddy's doing with his. They're just old enough to be able to like be told what to do and go get it done. So they do their little 4 hours in the morning or whatever, and the rest of the day is spent out doing shit with Pa.
I love that. Somebody who can smoke and can and preserve food for the long term, that's going to be a full-time job because canning now takes hours. Smoking takes hours. The
They can
ability to
also
keep the wood for that and stuff going when you can't buy it, or the
Yeah,
keeping the temperature for your water bath or your pressure canner over open fire.
they could also walk away, from it for a little bit at a time and go look at the close by stuff, like maybe go check in on the herb garden, while they know, okay, I just checked all my temps, my water's still going at the temperature I need it. I can go walk over here and go check on the herb garden.
Yeah, or hey, I'm going to go get eggs and clean out the chicken coop and then come back and check it. And okay, I'm going to go pull weeds. Okay, kids are up from nap time. I can get them up and going.
Go grab all the kids and go pull weeds.
Yep.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You got to be able to manage time, and maybe somebody who can make a schedule. If you're going to do your SOP, your constitution, your mission statement, maybe you get some sort of rough schedule put together for everybody, so everybody can kind of agree. You need to give some people, especially couples, some alone time away from just kids for midwife reasons, and you need to be able to give people enough time to decompress. And
did you say midwife reasons?
Yes. Well, yeah, that's going to happen. But also, you need to be able to schedule a family off. If you got like 2 kids and a mom and a dad, like they're going to want some time to themselves. Like, hey, maybe they're going to go play catch with a frisbee and maybe have a picnic, or hey, maybe they want to read a book before the sun goes down.
Or their time, or that time away from where maybe they get a couple of shots of fucking moonshine and go look at the stars for a couple hours.
Sure. Or maybe they're going to take a little fishing trip for the afternoon and kind of decompress as a family together. And you're going to need an R&R. You're going to need to be able to schedule that for people. Otherwise, people are going to get burned out. And then what are you, jacking it over there, Pat?
That's starting it.
Either he's trying to say something or he's fiddling with that axe.
Or maybe you got some guy making Christmas
whittling on the axe a little bit.
Yeah, maybe he's making Christmas presents for everybody and he's whittling on an axe handle.
Whittling that wood.
Yep. Some leisurely, some hobby activities need to be in there, and you need to have your serious stuff, your manual labor stuff, and also the food schedule needs to dictate with that. If you're doing your heavier, more strenuous activities, you need to have more calories that day. If you're having kind of a chill out day, you can have less calories. That needs to coincide.
And that's something that's kind of easy to schedule is mealtime. Those guys that are out there in that fucking field. You it's gonna be like, hey, they get called in. Let them get started on their meal, and then you bring in the next wave.
Yeah. Or maybe you got kids, take them out a snack, and it's just like a carrot and a biscuit. Like it might not be crazy, but mid afternoon, or maybe it's your turnip and some salt. Maybe that's what you got. Maybe it's a jalapeno and a potato and some salt. Some seasoning with it. Like it's not gonna be. Remember, your food's not going to be glamorous. I know one guy when we were talking about magging up, he's like, I was like, what do you expect to eat? And when SHTF, he's like, "What do you mean? We're just going to walk around and eat jerky all the time?" I'm like, "Probably going to walk around
No,
and
you're not.
eat a can of Vienna sausages and like a potato or a cucumber and a carrot." He's like, "What? Vegetables?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, you're going to eat shit out of your garden." Like I'm
You're
gonna,
gonna you're gonna eat the shit that you can grow and that you can reproduce. Like,
I'm gonna be eating a bell pepper and an apple with my pocket knife for lunch one day.
If you eat nothing but beef jerky, your blood pressure is going to skyrocket and your head's going to explode.
You're gonna die. Like, I want to eat some plums, or maybe you have your lunch. You have some apple butter and a scoop of jam on a sourdough roll. That'd be more sustainable than whatever. And maybe you have oatmeal with some strawberries.
If I did only eat beef jerky, though, I could die happy
Well, yeah,
from high blood pressure.
that is super loud, dude.
Sorry.
I love you. But yeah, that kind of stuff. So maybe a meal planner / dietitian would be really good.
and maybe that meal planner / dietitian is the one that's their full time role is the keeping track of what's coming in and what's going out.
Yeah.
That way you don't run out of shit.
The caloric commissar.
There you go.
Caloric commissar. That was a good one.
I like that. Somebody clip that. That's good. That's Lawfully's peak right there.
Fuck yeah. I'll write it down.
Thank you, Tactical
5630. 5620 to 56.
That's going to be one of your patches there, Lawfully. You're going to have to come up with a cool graphic. Old Man Buttwrinkle says, "Wow, so many euphemisms for playing hide the weenie." I love it.
You're just hearing it. You're just hearing what you want to hear. He's just hearing what he wants to hear.
He's on wood detail over there eating that whole damn pizza like a chunk. I love you, Lawfully. You crack me up.
I'll swing that axe.
That's good. All right, let me go down this list here. Clothing, cleaning, sanitation. Oh, we did that one. Medical cleaner, like a yellow van, home and furniture, things like that are going to need cleaned. You don't want bed bugs when this situation happens. You do not want that going through your house. You don't want cockroaches. You don't want mice. You don't want pests and petulants that can carry disease, because that will kill you quicker than anything.
They carry a lot of
Our modern day structures, all of our homes built in the last 60 years were not built to run without central heat and air. Like they'll mold.
Yeah.
They'll rot.
I agree, unfortunately.
Another thing that I just found out that I have to my availability, by the way, small fist pump / humble brag moment. I don't know if you've seen in my last little, I'm trying to do the weekly prep thing again, and I found out that they have these bottles of body hair and lice shampoos that I can get for fucking nothing. And
Nice.
because I watched one video about that was a scenario of shit being down and people were in kind of a cramped space. Then body lice started, and fucking next thing you know, everybody's got nasties.
Yeah, and that
So it's
it improves the infections with open cuts and sores and scratches in your body.
So it's like, damn, if I can hit everybody every couple of weeks with a quick fucking lice bath, what does it hurt if I got it?
With that, you need to have bathing.
Hey, boys, I got to bail.
See you, Dom. Thanks for
All right, brother.
All right, later on.
Roll hard.
Pull hard.
Go do some midwife stuff.
I said roll hard.
I heard pull hard.
I also heard pull hard. Bathing routines and being able to divvy that stuff out. You are not going to want, jock itch and all that crap. You're not going to want the ringworm. You're not going to want your crusty balls, and nobody's going to want to sit by you after you've been working out in the field all day and cutting firewood. You're going to need a bath time.
Yeah, you're gonna need hygiene. Hygiene's gonna be fucking hygiene will kill everybody.
Mm-hmm. And whether you figure out that ratio is some X amount of Dawn dish soap for everybody or whatever that's going to be, I said it in another chat. Nobody talks about prepping, having an entire tote of each family member, whatever, or mag group, whatever. How many people have a tote full of soap? Soap
Or
is
you,
freaking cheap. You cannot tell me you cannot go get a tote of Dial or yeah, I do Dial for the winter for moisturizer because you get dry skin here in the winter really bad. And then go get that Irish Spring. Go get your blue and your green Irish Spring. Every time you're at the store, buy a big pack of it. Put it in a tote. Seal the freaking
or
tote. You will have soap forever.
how many people have younger children have their next year's clothes already fucking stored away?
Yeah, I said that. I actually just bought my.
I learned that from you. I learned that one from you, and I have it.
Yep.
And luckily, I'm able to get them freaking. Like my kids are young as shit, so like I get we found people that it's working out perfect for. Like we got a little clothes exchange that happens once a month. Like, hey, I know you got that one right here. Yep, here this goes to you. That comes to me. This goes to you. That comes to me. All right,
Yeah, that
freaking,
works great
and
when
we're
you have
rocking it.
staggered ages, right?
We are fucking rocking it with that though, and I'm proud of that one. That's all because that was a good thought provoking that I actually
And
implemented.
I love that. And you know what? If the one person has like the older daughter and the older son and all their clothes go down, maybe one day when all y'all are getting your clothing exchange, the two or three people below that are getting their hand-me-downs, give them $20 and say, hey, man, next time you go buy clothes, it's on us for your kids because we're going to get your hand-me-downs anyway. Thank
Yep.
you. Monetary value assistance.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
That don't hurt nobody.
Give that little bit of love back.
Yeah, that's a future investment. You know, it's going to come to you in 6 months to a year anyway. So
Yeah.
or 2 years.
Freaking, especially when they're at that age where they're fucking growing like weeds.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that. Especially coats and shoes. Those wear out the quickest. You know, the jeans, those wear out the quickest. The shorts, the stuff that kids wear all the time, those are the things that get wore out so fast. So, and even that for you, the adult, I actually just went down a pant size and a shirt size. I'm currently in 1X sweatpants and a 2X, just regular 2X, not a 2X tall flannel. And I was in 3X last year, and I was in
Fuck yeah.
2X pants, so I dropped some weight. So that's good. First time I've been in 1X sweats since like high school, probably. So. That was good. Maybe college before I was eating pizza rolls every night playing Call of Duty Zombies and drinking. How many people we got watching? We got 10 people watching. Hopefully this is thought provoking, guys, because this is some critical think stuff that this is an exercise you should do with the people that you plan on having magged up. Pat, I know in your dream scenario you could have your kids' families move with you to the property you're looking at. That would be great, and then maybe like one extra person, one family friend, one whatever, you know.
Well, realistically, like if you got a couple of kids and their little family moving there, they probably are both going to bring a really close buddy that brings something to the table. So things grow quick, but that's not necessarily a bad problem.
Well, that's got to be signed off on by everybody too, though.
Yeah.
The place I'm looking to go, it has a couple of neighbors pretty close. So you kind of got to deal with that situation too. But the only choice you get to make in that regard is whether or not you move there.
Well, you can attempt to work together, have a barbecue. Maybe you guys do a monthly meal get together, or, hey, you tell them you're a mechanic and you can fix stuff. They ask you to come fix their truck and you save them some money. Hey, they're a farmer. They sell you a quarter beef for cheap, That symbiotic relationship with neighbors needs to come back.
And the fact that they're out in the middle of nowhere with you, chances are they're probably at least a little bit like-minded.
Right. And you have a fire. Guess what? If you have a fire in their barn, you're probably going to go help them out if you can. If you have a fire on your property, they're probably going to come help you out if they can. Or they're all sick. You're probably going to go bring them some soup. Or, somebody has a surgery. You know how many people brought me food after I had surgery? That's a great community to have and be a part of. And everybody's like, hey, can I help you? R's been great. He's been helping with the chickens. I've had Coldfoot came and put hay bales around the coop. I've had, just all kinds of stuff. So
just everybody doing the thing.
Yeah, man. When you're
you
down,
need people out there doing the thing.
I'd want to get in with the like 4-H teacher
Yeah, that'd be good. So
You want to what?
or the agri teacher.
yeah,
I guess 4-H is a club.
they can teach you a lot of stuff. County fair people, Yeah, 100%.
What about like a jail?
Yeah, police security.
Like what happens when
Murphy, Old
somebody
County.
when somebody just isn't working out? Do you let them? Well, the way things are now, it's just like, get the fuck out of here, creep. But you just can't kick somebody out of the group and be like, see you later.
Well, because they know everything. You gotta do the thing with them because they know everything.
Yeah,
train ride.
Okay, train ride, gotcha. Train station.
You can manual labor them to death. You're gonna in Minecraft, you're gonna have to have that SOP put down because it depends on the crime strenuous. If they rape some dude's wife, or they kill grandma, or they
Admonish.
they go steal a tote of food from somebody's house, whatever. If they steal your chickens, if they steal your gas, whatever, your last amount of fuel.
You keep catching them repeatedly. You caught them 3 times in the last 3 months in the garden in the middle of the night, fucking stuffing their fucking pie hole. It's a fucking problem.
You're gonna have to have a punishment that meets the crime, and you're gonna have your. Is it 3 strikes and you're out? Is it 1 strike and you're out? Like whatever. I don't have the game going. I'm sorry. Is it whatever? I could. Is it whatever? You guys have to figure that out now. Are you going to build a little jail? Are you going to, like Morgan did, with Morgan and then the Wolves and Walking Dead? Are you going to have a little cinder block jail? Or are you going to have a brick where everybody stones them with a stone that's smaller than their thumb? Or are you going to have a switch system where everybody go out and pick you a willow switch and you're getting swatted?
It'd take all day to end somebody with rocks smaller than your thumb.
It don't have to necessarily be end if they just stole a dozen eggs. You have to have a punishment that meets.
So you're
not
you're
everything.
gonna like paintball them.
Yeah, not
I was
everything.
gonna say, man, you hit 100 people, you'd be out there all afternoon throwing pea gravel at them.
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Is like you can't just be like,
Like, I'm tired thinking about it.
Like, oh, you took my shoelace out of my boot, and then you take a 12 gauge and shoot him in the face. Like that's not exactly. Like,
That's not how crime and punishment works.
Right. Like, you took my lime green thong, you bastard. Now I have to wear my pink one. This is horse shit. Like, okay, probably don't kill that guy. They're just both gay. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be you have to set that parameter amongst the group. Like, especially when people grow, hopefully your kids get married and you either decide, hey, is this going to work out? Hopefully you have the multi-generational homestead locked in by then where the kid knows, hey, I'm bringing my wife on board and the kids that we have, or if it's a daughter, hey, here's my boyfriend, whatever, now he's my husband. You're going to A, have to cross-train them, B, figure out what skill set they have to bring to the table, and C, hopefully you've vetted them before they married or knocked up your child. Like, hopefully that morality and compass has already happened, and you found out, hey, they're a decent enough person to bring into the family. You know what I mean? What's up, Cody Miller?
Yeah, you've already had that fucking hard talk. What up, Cody?
That's your homie?
Yeah, I know the guy.
Nice. What's up, Cody? Thanks for swinging in. Also a pastor, I think would be good. Maybe a counselor would also go with a psychiatrist, probably.
I mean, because the moment people stop talking about shit, especially after things have already been going fucking bad, it's like, it's just important.
Right. I mean, think about it. You have a skirmish and you get somebody with PTSD who's on guard duty. I mean, you have to deal with that.
Oh, that's scary.
You get somebody who gets some mental trauma, maybe they get bucked off a horse or they get kicked by a donkey or something, or they get ran by
they get 4 broken ribs in fucking 6 places by a fucking bird.
Yeah, that emu goes in the freezer. He goes immediately to the butcher, and
and homeboy needs to sit down and deal with the fact that he got his ass kicked. You know,
Right?
like
Humbling experiences happen.
sometimes
Or
you got
it
to put
could
the
be
towel about it.
the midwife. You know, you have a stillborn child. You cannot do anything about that. In further down the road, like you cannot medically do anything because you do not have a hospital. If you can't get them to a hospital and that happens, like you cannot, like that postpartum depression, you have to be able to deal with that.
Yeah, it's just dangerous, man. It's just dangerous with doctors and medicine right now. It's dangerous.
Yeah. So I mean, very very thought provoking chat. I hope, and hopefully this, and maybe even this video, you could take and kind of chop it up and take this to your group of people and kind of listen to it and think about what they say. Take a notebook, fill some stuff out so that way you guys can bounce off of each other. If you get 3 or 4 families together, or you get 10 people in a room at a table and y'all are having pizza and beers, sometimes stuff really comes out when you get more comfortable with people. You get a little bit of liquor involved. They say some funny stuff like, oh, he needs a whorehouse, blah, blah, blah. Or
Yeah.
probably not. If it's a family
Or
setting,
just some really good reading
trying
material
to run a
from the
business,
80s.
maybe. Yeah, it's like just some stuff like
Shit,
that.
actually, that there is a place on the list for that. If you got some old school reading material from like the 80s that's still kicking around, like it'll be gold, man.
Being able to sit down as humans and negotiate and hash it out rationally, yes, I 100% agree.
Lust is a sin, Justin B. Lust
I'm
is a
aware.
sin.
I'm aware.
This is also probably the most profitable market in the United States.
It's been it's fucking.
That's because
the whole
the
thing,
church and religion has been pushed out on purpose. Starts with the destruction of the nuclear family. Morals aren't set with a strong figure at the head of the household, and that stuff falls by the wayside, and it becomes less important. You need to be the shepherd to your family. You need to be the sheepdog. You need to be the compass for what you expect your family to do.
Yeah, if you have no fucking moral compass, you're not going to be able to instill that in your children and shit. So you got to try the best to be the best that you can be. You need to keep up on your shit in order to pass it on to others.
And sometimes you don't get that option. I mean, divorce rates high. Sometimes it's, especially now, like R has problems dating, and he's in mid-30s. He's like, all the chicks that he's looking to date all already have kids and are all divorced or all single moms. He's like, that's just the dating pool I'm in.
Isn't the divorce rate above 50% right now?
That's terrible. And
It's
it's a moral compass thing. It's a religion thing. It's a lot of morals.
It's a lack of religion is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it is what it is. But you can also take splintered families and grow stronger. Or you can bounce back. You can do all kinds of things together. It just we're humans. We're very resilient creatures.
My wife just made a big effort when she's doing the thing with the working and everything, and it's not uncommon for her to work fucking 7 days a week. But I was like, you're the top of the seniority list that is not salarized. Well, actually, she's the top of the list, period. But and it's like, dude, you need to take one day off, make it Sunday or Wednesday or something, and we'll fucking go to church, and I'll buy you a meal after or whatever. Can't just be doing this shit by myself.
Priorities.
You need to get back to it with me, because if not, this shit's going downhill quick.
I like it. You guys think of anything else what we had in there? Do we need like a trampoline technician or anything crazy in there? Do we need like a guy who can run a Ferris wheel? Cotton candy dispenser?
Cotton candy dispenser would be nice.
Do you need a humane society? Do you need a guy selling lowered and lit up rides with wings on them? Do we need all the Honda Civics dropped down to where they sound like fart cans running down the road?
Depending on your location, wouldn't hurt.
It's a very thought-provoking chat, and I don't want to be the only guy flapping my gums, because sometimes when I get going and I go back and listen to these and I think of more stuff to say when I listen to other things or even what I said again, and I find more and more things that should have been in there. And that's part of growing. That's part of having multiple discussions with people.
Well, and that's where
I
you
want
go ahead.
I want a beekeeper. I want honey, motherfucker.
That is a great one, actually.
Forever food.
It helps your garden and your fields as well, pollination rates and
Your fruit trees.
Yep. Very, very important. I agree, Pat.
And honey is forever. It's that forever superfood right
You
there.
know what? Maybe even an exterminator. Some guy who knows, like, hey, this is a mole, or hey, this is a skink or a skunk or whatever, and how to get rid of them. That might be handy. Or like, hey, this is a badger hole, or this is a.
That'll probably fall under your trapper is like your passive hunter, you know.
Yeah.
Because like obviously, if it's time to go out and go hunting, you know, there's multiple people capable of that. But you know, that's not a full year-round job.
Yeah.
Most of the time when you're year-round is going to be your passive shit.
Your beekeeper's going to need your seamstress because you're going to need your protective clothing in tip-top shape because if you get swarmed in there by bees and you die of anaphylactic shock, you're no good as a beekeeper anymore, right?
Hey, you're no good if you're dead.
Very true.
I guess it goes under like security, but do you think it would be wise to have somebody who is a scout that like goes way out far, like clover leaves around your property all the time?
You mean like a Daryl?
Yeah, that's exactly who I was thinking about.
Like a Daryl Dixon?
That would be handy.
Yeah. Just to try and get, you know, like early warning if anything's coming your way.
Yeah, that could easily be your stubborn ass old man that, you know, you love him and he's worth the fuck, but man, is he a pain in the ass.
Or maybe you got an infantryman named Jay and you got your medical guy and he can go run around and knows how to do stuff at night or, and it could be at night, you know, it could be your night vision guy. It could be, to increase your area of operational, awareness. Yes.
You keep your front line way far away by having the ability to do that. You know, you have multiple walls of protection before it gets to where, you know, your normal people are going to spot somebody.
Yeah. Could also be a hunter. Could be a gatherer. Could be, or maybe, you know, he lines up a barter situation with another group of people that are close enough that like maybe once a week they meet on a Wednesday and they bring some stuff to trade. Also, maybe with that, a barter town / somebody who can kind of set even trades for currency might be handy. I don't know what you would call that necessarily, but like maybe a banker, I guess.
Well, everything would have to be of tangible value, so that might even be a triple burden for your inventory person.
Right, but if you need protein, I want to swap my chicken for how many jars of honey and a sack of potatoes. Okay, well, how heavy a sack of potatoes and how many jars are we talking about for one meat bird?
Yeah, well, a lot of that's going to be consumption dependent on what the value is to you. Right, you know, like if you got to.
If they have a beekeeper, they don't give a shit about your honey. If they have absolutely zero protein, it might be worth 2 20-pound sacks of potatoes to them for one little measly bird. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like you need a communal like storehouse, and people just kind of get what they need. Because if you, I've seen it like, obviously it was a movie, or a TV show, but the 1883 when they're going across the prairie, and the men start taking advantage of the women. Like, I helped you get your wagon unstuck. I'm going to take this sack of potatoes as payment. Like, well, eventually the lady's going to starve because the dudes are taking all her food and stuff.
Right.
So there has to be I
like the general idea that Jericho had with Dale at the store, where he gave security to the farmers, and the farmers gave him produce to trade.
Kind of like your buy sell trade spot.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We need a Craigslist in SHTF. We need the guy to run Craigslist.
I almost
You
feel
need
like
Facebook Marketplace.
you would need some sort of currency kind of thing. Like if you work hard, then you should have some sort of currency that gets you the things that you need, like bottle
and then you
caps or
purchase it off of
freaking
what the rest of
white
the
stones or
community.
whatever. Yeah,
But then that's kind of like how they run the mines in third world countries, you know, like you go out there and you go work all day and then you get this coupon and your coupon's only good here at my store, but it's you're gonna have your one guy that sees it like that. That's just
I hate to
Yeah.
say it, but when it's a small situation like that, it's kind of like communism.
no
Well,
exactly like it
that's where
is.
your lawyer/judge may come into effect. Say, hey, this guy's working for you 4 days a week, tilling your field, cleaning your stables, whatever.
He,
But also like your mag is your trusted community, right? So you should have some sort of moral value. Be like, hey, my son-in-law worked for me 3 days this week. I got to give him something.
well, I mean, yeah, and if you got that
Family's
guy
like
that's out there
Starbucks,
that's
you know.
just a fucking straight up overachiever, there's got to be a way to reward him too. If he's obviously, he's already a reasonably in shape person, and he's fucking becoming skin and bones. Like, there's got to be freaking a kickback for him because he's out there absolutely busting his fucking ass.
Or you go from the guy who is the butcher and oh shit, he sliced off 2 fingers. He's in recovery. Guess what? He's probably not going to be doing butchering for a minute. He's going to need something else to do. You got to have some sort of even trade. But that's why having the group, the mag that you're putting together now, means so much because it doesn't mean you're just taking ragtag bunches of dudes that come by and their last little bit of fumes into the community. This is homegrown. This is going to be your multi-generational household. This is going to be the house that you are living in is going to be your great grandchild's house, so they do not have to have that expense in their life. You are going to give them this house, and hopefully it goes to their kid and their kid and their kid and forever. Right? This is to strengthen your family bloodline way past when you're dust. That's the point of this. DB Cooper said, Team T, you ever make venison potato sausage? Delicious and makes your meat go further? No, I have not. That sounds delicious. You should post a recipe in my Discord and or video on how to do it.
That makes me think of a post I just saw. You know how you got to put fat when you make deer burger? You got to put a little bit of fat in it. They were showing they were using bacon to put fat into the burger. That sounds
a little bit of pork fat will fucking make some shit taste really fucking good, man.
I know a lot of guys that do like a 90-10 or a 80-20 bacon with deer to make their burger meat with their deer. They come out delicious. They make smash burgers with it. It's tasty.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves a little bit of fucking pork fat swindled in their shit. Like, it'll. Oh.
John Large, give your meat the good old rub. Yeah, I mean, that happens.
A bunch of 12-year-olds.
Well, isn't that where the animal husbandry comes in?
Yeah, that's just the locker room talk. That's the good stuff. And then right there, that's why socialism doesn't work past a certain size of settlement. Barter best currency. Yeah, I agree, Colefoot. Like the Amish/Mormons kind of have that locked down, and maybe that would be a good thing. Maybe you guys take your mag there for a weekend and say, hey, we're going to can some stuff because you can use some of those canneries that you pay for it. Or
in some places.
Or you'd be like, hey, we're going to go buy from this LDS and we're going to put this amount back for SHTF food purposes and rotate it through. We're going to put it at the farm that we're all going to go to for bug out, right? Like, we're going to take it to Pat's Homestead, but we're going to go save some money and buy some of this stuff from them and say, hey, can you give us a rundown on your community? Kind of pick out the jobs and things like that and see how they handle the injuries and the people who, like, this guy just shears sheep and makes wool and makes blankets and shit. Okay, well, this guy's the butcher. Okay, this guy's the carpenter who makes the barn for the guy who does all this crap and blah, 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 blah. How do they coexist/trade?
Yeah, there's a lot of things to learn from them.
Right, so you can see like what they value. Hey, here's a 50-pound sack of potatoes for a set of horseshoes for my horse. I got more in it, the material and the time and the heat source. okay, let me throw in 2 fryer chickens. Is that fair? Or like, here's 6 jars of homemade canned soup, or ham and beans. Okay, cool. That's more even, because it takes a long time to can the beans, grow the beans, put all that stuff together, preserve it. You got the jars and all that, and then it's shelf stable, so he can consume that at a later time. So that's actually more valuable than just this pair of horseshoes that's going to fall off and or wear away eventually, where you need another set, but it's going to last you a long time. So like being able to swap that, or like, hey, I'm going to swap you a king size quilt and 2 scarves. It's almost winter time. Oh, that's great because I just have a linen sheet. That's all I have. So I need a comforter kind of deal. It might mean more to him at that point if he doesn't have a scarf and it's about to be winter.
How many chicken coops are you gonna have?
1,792,000.
As many as I can.
Yeah, like
Because
fucking.
you're talking about bartering and stuff on your small little little homestead. Eventually, it's gonna grow. I understand that, but is everybody gonna have their own chickens?
I think you should
Would it
everyone
hurt?
have. If it's at the homestead group with say 4 families, I think you should have a large chicken run that everybody tends to. Maybe like 300 birds.
Then there's
keep
no
track of fires.
they're nobody's chickens. How are you gonna barter a chicken when they belong to everybody already?
Well, there's your communal. That can't be a trade item then.
Yeah, eggs are off the list because that's what
Which
everybody fucking eats for breakfast.
so everybody will have eggs. So they won't starve.
Barter only works so far because if you're the chicken guy and you're flush with eggs and you need a tooth worked on, but the dentist, he's allergic to eggs. He can't eat eggs. So how are you going to pay the dentist?
So that's where you got to kind of figure out, like, so say if you got, your small little family of 4 or 5 or 6, there's nothing in the rules, well, at least in my world, that doesn't say that you can't fucking be growing, that you can't have a little small thing going on in your backyard too, that you take care of on your downtime.
Sure. Maybe you want quail, or maybe you want turkeys or ducks because you like the flavor of the eggs better. Or maybe you say, okay, hey, the dentist is allergic to eggs, but this guy who's running the still in the bar, I can trade him some pickled eggs for some booze and some sanitary alcohol, so that way the dentist can keep his tools clean and keep his hands clean when he's working in people's mouths with open cuts and be able to sanitize the location. And then that takes your input, your value that he doesn't find valuable, and you can barter somebody else to trade that guy.
And that extra work that you're putting in every day on your own off time, that's how you're going to build your wealth compared to the rest of the community.
Or you know what? Maybe he has a hole in his roof, and you're handy enough that you can patch his roof, and you have a can of Flex Seal. Good to go. You get a tooth fixed.
Out in the end.
I'm just saying, like, we don't all have to go instantly to castles and wearing, Scottish kilts. I mean, you're going to have some normality.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Be inspecting each other's haggis.
God, dude.
Oh, you smell like kimchi. You need to visit the bathhouse.
I like how you get multiple levels of racism there.
Why do you have sauerkraut growing down there, boyo? You need some disinfectant, I think. There could be only one. Right.
Got that bangers and mash.
The community thing. For me, for chickens, the ultimate thing is I have a chicken tractor with fryers. And then that would be where my fields would go for longer term crops. And then everybody communally butchers the chickens. You take the blood and everything for compost and dog food. You take the gizzards, you take the hearts and the livers, you chop them up. Those go for the dogs, / fishing bait, whatever. You boil all the bones. The bones get ground up, go for your bone meal for your garden. The broth is split amongst your dogs and your hogs for the rice, because you put the bone broth in the rice. A, they eat it. It gets the flavor. B, you can it for your soups. All the inputs and outputs of that process don't get wasted. and then you have to have enough for next year. So you have to have incubated enough, and then you chicken tracker them again. They're fertilizing your field for next turn. That's where you plant your shit next year. So that'll be a communal thing for me. If I had 4 families, I'd like a big chicken run with like 300 chickens that you could walk in. So maybe you have a guy who builds a really nice shed that's screened in that you can put, corrugated plastic covers all the way around in the winter to help keep the heat in. They insulate it, whatever, and then
Somebody's
they do
gonna have to go in there and clean that bitch.
Yeah, they do.
If
the
you're not
chicken
doing a
oil.
run, somebody's gonna have to clean it.
You rotate families each week on who's cleaning it. You rotate people that buy the feeds. That way it's not monetarily on one person every time. And then you have to go get the eggs. Then you got to boil the eggs. You got to pickle the eggs. You got to trade the eggs. You got to sell the eggs at the farmer's market. Whatever. You got to eat the eggs, like somebody's the cook. Somebody's making delicious omelets while you're out cleaning the pen. Somebody's got to water them in the winter, keep their water from freezing. Somebody's, all that shit. Being able to rotate that's nice.
Yeah, if you know the times are still halfway decent, and you got that run going in the middle of the property where you got your 4 families or whatever, and you got that run going down the middle or out in the back or whatever, and every week is a different family's responsibility.
Right.
It's like, fucking you're right.
Wherever you put it, also you have to be able to keep away predators and vermin. Snakes trying to eat the eggs, or raccoons. Everything likes chickens, so everything tries to eat them. Your fox, no
matter what kind of bird it is, like freaking these critters like them, man.
Yeah, you get 2-legged critters trying to steal from you. Your security has to obviously be aware of the chicken coop and be familiar with it, so they can see if something's been tampered with or cut. So it has to be an important part of the group. Everybody has to know 100% of what's going on with the coop, or everybody has their own. And say you break your leg, you fall down. Okay, well, somebody's going to have to help mend your coop for you while you're down, right? Like me right now, I have people taking care of my chickens. I'm down. I need help. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just part of it.
Yeah, Kovo just brought up a good point about how any kind of bird is a lot of work.
Yeah, any kind of animal, period. But like a milking cow, or if you're milking goats, if you can make milk and you can make cream and you can make butter and you can make cheese and you can make all that for input for your group, pretty valuable. So you got to be able to keep them fed. You got to be able to keep them healthy. You got to be able to, if they're sick, you got to get them medication and make more of them. And then eventually you need to have the butcher because you're going to eat it. You're not going to waste the meat.
Yeah, because what did you say the egg laying time is for chickens these days?
2 to 3 years. You should have
3 years.
After your
Pat, did you look into that yet? You said that your chickens were getting a little funky.
Yeah, they're not producing as much as they used to.
Yeah, and they are slower in the winter. But yeah, at about the 2-year mark, you should have your next flock kind of incubated. You should have your chicks that year, so that way, that next summer, the ones that start slowing down go into the crock pot and separate to soup is lawfully asleep.
Yeah, I'm hoping. The only reason I'm keeping the rooster around, like he's being a bastard to my girls. The only reason he's still around is because I want chicks in the spring.
Well,
there you go.
Do
you have the ability to mute lawfully?
Yeah, but I like this. This is peaceful.
Still not gonna forget him falling asleep in Discord and having Randall fucking yell at him and scare him.
Yeah, I fell asleep. Randall's up late, man. That guy messes around at like midnight to 2 a.m. and I'm like, Jesus, man, how do you keep it going?
Lawfully, this is your conscience. Accidentally send guns to Pat Riot.
But lawfully, you're no longer going to like the Walther PDP. You were all about the Gen 6 Glock. It is the very best that no one ever was.
Some guy in Florida really wants that PDP.
Lawfully, you're now going to switch to 10 millimeter and tell everybody it's God's caliber. All 9mm firearms are useless to you. It is 10mm or bust.
G40.
If it's not a 357 wheel gun, is it a real gun?
You're addicted to that chamber slap.
You will become the next Yankee Marshal. You already have. You're going to have to develop an interesting voice dialogue.
Okay, boys, it's 11. I got to split.
Let's call it. That was a good chat. Hopefully this sparks some interest and really you sit down with people and try and get to that position, because I'm gunning for it. That is my goal, to have my family set up before I pass, is have the multi-generational homestead. I think it's going to save everybody money in the end. If you can start cross-platforming people, say, hey, this person's going to get in the medical field, or hey, this person's going into the military, and this person's going to be a mechanic, and this person's going to be a farmer, and this person's getting into being a psychiatrist, and this guy wants to be a handyman. He went and worked construction, and he cuts wood and moves snow on the side. We need those people. We all have value. This guy works gun counter and tries to sell everybody Walther PDPs. We need those people.
Somebody's got to bury it. Somebody's got to bury the trash and shovel the shit.
Yep.
Spread the love.
My kid ain't the brightest in the bunch, but he's strong as shit. Like,
well, yeah, and that's a good teaching method to kids too. Is just common farm chores. I mean, I think it's made me the person I am today, and I enjoy being outside and doing those things because of it. So nothing makes me more proud than to go in the garden and pick a couple 5-gallon buckets of vegetables with my son and have him know where his food comes from.
Can't be mad at that.
I can't wait for him to get into the butcher shed with us and start cutting up meat, but I don't want to traumatize him yet, so we'll just wait. All right, everybody. Deuces. Go forth. Be the light. Be better. Make everybody leave everything better than when you found it. Try and spread seeds of wisdom to people. Try and breed confidence in people. Sometimes you need to be the one to listen to people. They need help. Sometimes if somebody has surgery or whatever, go bring them a casserole, man, or go work on their chickens or something for them. Go, if some old lady is over there and she needs her oil changed and you can change oil, go change your oil for her, help her out, do whatever you can do. Make your community a better place. Deuces.
Later.
Yep.